What is going on, everybody? This is Justin Martinez, aka Jay the Sports Dude, coming to y'all live from my apartment. Hopefully you all are staying at your homes as well, practicing social distancing and staying safe during this pandemic, and I'm here to provide y'all with a little bit of extra entertainment. That's right, folks, it is time for the latest episode of Aggie Mailbag, the weekly series where I answer your guys' most pressing questions about the New Mexico State men's basketball team every Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, whether you're watching this video version or the written version, which is on lcsunnews.com. Either way, I appreciate you guys for checking this out, and shout out to everyone who sent in questions. If you guys want to do so moving forward, there are plenty of ways to do that. You can find me on Twitter, which is at JayTheSportsDude. You can email me at jmmartinez@gannett.com. You can find me on Facebook, which is our Las Cruces Sun News Sports page. You can find me on the message boards of Aggie Alert, which is going to be popping up right here, folks. Like I said, shout out to everyone who sent in questions. We have 3 of them on the docket for today. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alrighty, guys, let's go ahead and get started. You know the drill by now. I have my trusty mailbag beside me. And this first one is going to be coming to us courtesy of @EricJimenez77 via Twitter. He wants to know, with such an influx of guards at the point guard spot, especially if AJ Harris returns, do you see any of the potential point guards playing the 2? My answer to that is definitely. It really is crowded there at that 1 spot as of right now. You got Evan Gilliard II, CJ Roberts, Kalen Williams, Tennessee Owens, and then the addition of AJ Harris, if his medical hardship waiver is approved, which there's still no timeline for that, that would make minutes even harder to come across for the bunch. Now, the tallest guy of that group is Kalen Williams at 6'2". However, it's not too much of a problem because the Aggies are no strangers to rolling out a small ball lineup. So we even saw a little bit of Sean Buchanan, a 6-foot point guard, playing some small forward when Trevelin Queen was injured. So I don't think the New Mexico State head coach Chris Jans would shy away from putting any of these guys out there at that 2 spot. However, I really think it's only going to be out of necessity, and I don't think it's going to happen a whole lot because minutes are kind of hard to come by at that shooting guard spot as well. I personally think that Jabari Rice, the all-WAC first-team selection from last season, will average the most minutes per game for the Aggies this upcoming season. You look at Snead State transfer Jason King, who's the current backup, and then Marcus Watson, Oklahoma State transfer, another guy that I think can have an immediate impact and will definitely garner a good amount of minutes whenever he is deemed eligible, whether that be at the start of conference play or immediately, depending on how his waiver shakes out. So, as much as I do think that these guys could play at that 2 spot, I don't see it happening a whole lot because at the end of the day, there's only so many minutes to go around, not just at that 1 spot, but in this backcourt overall. So we'll see how that plays out. Alrighty, guys, let's keep it moving to question number 2. I'm reaching right back into the mailbag here, and this one is going to be coming to us courtesy of Hoopsmaster23 via Aguilar. He wants to know, how big of a role do you think Clayton Henry will have this season? Now, I think Henry is going to be one of those invaluable guys for New Mexico State this upcoming season. He's a 6'4" forward who's one of the best 2-way players in the WAC. He's back for his redshirt senior year after being granted a medical hardship waiver over the offseason. On the offensive side of the ball, Henry is a perimeter-centric player who plays within the system. He doesn't really have to force his shot a lot. He shot 32.7% from distance 2 seasons ago as a junior and also recorded a turnover rate of just 14%, according to Ken Palm, which ranks 2nd lowest on the squad. Now you look at guys like Jabari Rice and Johnny McCants. To me, those are the go-to scorers for New Mexico State. And a big reason why I think that Clayton is going to be so good on this team is because he doesn't need the ball in his hands to be effective. He's going to be primarily a catch-and-shoot type of guy that just scores when needed for New Mexico State, and you can't have enough of those guys. And on the defensive side of the ball, he can guard positions 2 through 4. To me, he's the team's best perimeter defender because he's quick enough to guard those guys out there, but also he's strong enough to guard some big men down low in the paint. And also he's smart enough to not commit fouls. He only committed an average of 2.8 fouls per 40 minutes 2 seasons ago, according to Ken Palm, which was the 3rd lowest rate on the squad. Now, he is going to be really versatile in New Mexico State. He's going to take advantage of that. They're going to use him positions 2 through 4, as I mentioned, and his role is only going to get bigger if UNLV transfer Donnie Tillman is not granted immediate eligibility. There's still a waiver being put out for that. So I can see Henry being in the ballpark around 8.7 points and 4.5 rebounds in 25 minutes per game, while also making contention for the WAC's all-defensive team. Alrighty, guys, we are here on the home stretch with our 3rd and final question. This one is going to be coming to us courtesy of Real Aggie via Aggie Alert. He wants to know what WAC teams seem to improve the most with its new players. This is a very tricky question that I had to sit with for a little while, and I'll kind of walk you guys through my thought process on this. Now, the question is, which team had the best set of new players? And it's New Mexico State by a mile. End of the video. However, we're asking which team improved the most. And because of that, I have to go with Chicago State by process of elimination, even though it's marginal. I know it's not the most exciting answer. To me, it is the right one. Now, you look at the WAC, lost a lot of talented players this offseason, whether it be to graduation or guys entering the transfer portal. And Chicago State just happened to take the least amount of damage out of the bunch. And New Mexico State lost guys like Trevelyan Queen, Yvonne Adekoachea. We don't know what the team's roster will look like this season with 5 pending waivers. So despite having the best incoming transfer class, I can't say that the Aggies have improved from last year's squad. Now you look at the rest of the conference. Cal Baptist is set to lose all 5 starters unless WAC Player of the Year Milan Aqua draws his name from the NBA draft. But even if that happens, they're not better than last year's squad, I don't think. Grand Canyon lost 3 starters in Carlos Johnson, Isaiah Brown, and Lorenzo Jenkins. UTRGV lost Leslie Barnard II and Jordan Jackson, who combined for 41.2% of the team's points per game last season. Seattle lost the conference's top scorer in Terrell Brown, along with Morgan Means and Miles Carter. Utah Valley lost 3 starters in Isaiah White, Brandon Aver, and Kasdan Jardine. Then I can't say if Dixie State or Tarleton State has improved because I need to see how they perform in Division I basketball first. So even though I think a lot of these teams are going to have better new players coming in and will have a better season than Chicago State, I can't say that any of them are going to be better than last year's version, which is the question that we're asking at the end of the day. Meanwhile, you look at Chicago State, there's a team that's only going to be losing Jace Cawley and Amerigo Lazade, neither of whom were top 3 scorers last year, and the squad could be putting out an entire starting lineup of seniors this time around, so plenty of experience coming back. Also, Chicago State is bringing in Idaho State transfer Corian Russian, a 6'6" small forward / power forward who averaged 3.9 points and 3.2 rebounds and 19.3 minutes per game last season as a sophomore. What's really impressive is his defense, though. Russian boasted an impressive steal percentage of 2.4%, which ranked first on the squad by a considerable margin, and that's really big for a Chicago State team that struggles defensively. Also, this guy is a high flyer who scores almost exclusively from close range. I just think he's going to be a really good fit for Chicago State. So again, the Cougars didn't have the best transfer class, and I still think they're going to be towards the bottom of the conference standings. However, since the question is asking which team improved the most, they're really the only one that I can point to and say they will be better than last year's version. So for that reason, I'm going with Chicago State. But guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Aggie Mailbag. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps this channel grow, and I would really appreciate it. That is going to do it for me today. This has been Justin Martinez, aka Jay the Sports Dude, and I'm out.